So you just have learned from the previous lessons that being a monopolist not always guarantee that the monopolist is going to earn abnormal profit or profit. And you know that when a pure monopolist is actually able to maintain different sources of one or more sources of market power, then he can create actually barriers to entry that allows him to perform in the long run as he would be in the short run. So when barriers to entry exist, a monopolist would perform in the long run as he would performing in the short run. So when new firms they are not able to enter in the market, then the monopolist is going to earn profit even in the long run. But if these barriers are weak, as you have learned about patent and other sources, that if these barriers or market power sources they are weak, then it is possible for other firms to enter in this market and share the profit with the monopolist. In the monopolistic competition, when entry is free and also the exit is free, then the monopolistically competitive firm they are going to perform similarly like the firms in the perfect competition in the long run. Means that all of them they are going to earn a normal profit or zero profit in the long run. So if firms in the monopolistically competitive industry they are earning profit, then there is actually an incentive for new firms to enter in the market and then share that profit with these firms. And this entry will continue until all the profit will be shared by newly firms. Why? Because there are fewer customers which are available to each individual firm. As more and more firms they are going to enter in the market. This means that because of the entry, the demand for existing firm is going to be reduced. And that's why the already existing firms they are able to sell a lower output level that will cause a reduction in their profit, and this entry will continue until all the profit will be shared by newly entered firm, and all the firms existing and new firms they all will earn zero economic profit. So let us try to understand the behavior of the monopolistic competitive firm. Here consider the first diagram. Here you can see that we have given the marginal cost curve, average total cost curve, demand, and the marginal revenue curve. And with the intersection of marginal cost and marginal revenue, the firm is going to define the level of output which gives the firm the maximum profit. Okay, so here you can see that the firm is going to produce 20 units of the output, and it will sell this 20 units at a price of $1, which is defined by the demand curve. And what about the average total cost? We can see that average total cost curve is lying under the demand curve. Whenever the average total cost is lower than the demand curve, it means that price is higher than the average total cost, and you can see that it is equals to the area of this rectangle. Why? Because 0.75 is the average total cost, and $1 is actually the price of the price per unit. So the by just calculating the area of this rectangle which is showing the profit to the firm, it is equals to 1 minus 0.75, which is equals to 0.25 multiplied by 20. It is going to give the firm profit equals to $5. Okay, So now this is let us consider that this is actually the only firm which is producing that particular good, and in the long run we are just going to relax the assumption of barriers to entry. Now the firm is earning this much profit of $5, and the new firms can enter in the market. There is no restriction on the entry of the new firms. So this is going to be the monopolistic competition. So now this firm is going to work under the monopolistic competition, because new firms they can enter. So when new firms are going to enter in the market, what happened to the demand and marginal revenue of this firm? So it is explained in this B part of this figure. Okay, so this solid lines are actually showing the initial position of the firm, and the dotted lines are showing the new, or after the change in the demand. Okay, so when there are new firms, means that the firm's demand is going to reduce, because there is also a demand for the product by the other firms, by the new firms, because these firms they are actually the firms in the monopolistic competition, they are actually competed for a limited pool of potential customers. So number of customers they are more or less the same. So we can say that the demand is same, and the new firms they are attracting some of the customers from the old firm. So that's why the demand curve of the old firm it will shift downward, showing a lower level, and so do the marginal revenue curve denoted by MR prime. So at this, the new marginal revenue curve will intersect the marginal cost curve at a quantity 18, and the price, in order to find the price, we can see that the demand curve is just tangent to the average total cost curve, means that the price and the average total cost they are same, and the price defined by that it is 0.85, showing that the firm's average total cost is equals to the price, and when there is no difference between the price and the average total cost, it means that the firm is earning zero economic profit. Okay, so this is the situation in the long run. So this is actually the situation for this monopolistic firm in the long run, when there is no barrier to the entry. In the same way, we can understand there is one more point, that when there are more firms entering the market and sharing the demand curve, then there will be a pressure on the prices to decrease. That's why the new price is not $1, it will decrease from $1 to 0.85. Okay, so now the second case, when the when the monopolistic firm it is earning losses. So in that case, just you can try to understand it as the opposite case of the previous one. So let us start from here. So again, the quantity is defined by equating marginal revenue and marginal curve. Marginal cost it is 20, and at this 20 level of output, the price for the price determined by demand curve it is $1, and the marginal cost is 1.25. So we can see that the average total cost to produce 20 unit is greater than the price of the output. So this firm is actually the average total cost is higher than the price, so this firm is actually earning economic loss equals to the area of this rectangle, which is equals to $5. So economic loss is equals to $5. So what will happen in this industry, that some of the firms under this monopolistic competition, they will try to leave or exit from this industry, because in the long run it is not possible for some of the firms to incur or to produce with the high losses, so they will exit from the industry. Okay, so in that case, what will happen? The demand curve will shift upward, showing a higher demand showing a higher demand for the existing firms. So and so do the marginal revenue. It will be also higher than the previous one. So the new, you can see the new quantity will be set at 22, and in the long run, what will happen, the the price will there will be a pressure on the prices to increase. Why? Because demand is higher, so the prices will increase from 1 to 1.5, which is exactly equals to the average total cost. So in the long run, if the existing firms, they are earning economic losses, then some of the firm, they will leave the market. So the as all the firms, they are competing for a limited pool of potential customers. So when some of the firms, they leave from the market or from the industry, then then their buyers can demand the good from the remaining firms. So their demand curve will increase, and that will give a pressure to the prices to increase, and the increase in prices will continue until the price become equals to the marginal cost, and it is exactly equals to that point where the average total cost curve is intersecting, or it is tangent to the new demand curve, showing that average total cost and the price, they are equal and there is no difference. So in the long run, if the firm is working under monopolistic competition, all of these firms are going to earn normal profit, or they will earn economic profit equals to 0. So the explanation on this slide is covered on the previous slide.